welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing a work in progress. Part of this build was something that I started as a challenge. I was running by and happened to see it, and I thought, I wonder what the view's like from up there. And I climbed up there and decided to actually build there. So we're going to start off by showing off this first thing I'm going to be showing off. If you're playing on a official server or a server where there's more than one clan, you're better off building a transport stone down here. Matter of fact, I probably should have. It would have made more sense, but for some reason I decided to build it up there. But over here at this end of that, you have the there's a lore stone. If you follow that all the way across through to the other side, I'll show you that in a little bit. Don't climb that. So here's your entrance. And yeah, I use a lot of tier 2 materials simply because all the new material being released is either tier 1 or tier 2. Which means if you want to use it, you have to use tier 1, tier 2 materials. A lot of it doesn't blend in as well as it should. So we take a short elevator ride up. And originally this was all done with stairs, but I decided I wanted to do an elevator just because. So you come in here and then you have your choice. If you go this way, well, I'll show you that in a little bit because that's not my original build. My original build took you this way. This one's a little bit longer of a ride. Unfortunately, the way I was forced to build my way up, required these little steps. Those of you who are better at building than I am can probably do it in such a way where you don't have to take all these little steps. But then you're stuck with the side effect of having to wait forever for longer elevator rides. And to be honest, I don't think a single elevator can go all the way up and down. I don't think they have that kind of range. Are you coming? Doesn't look like you're coming. I must have missed. Come on, trigger it. There you go. Now it's coming. Probably my biggest complaint about these elevators is that they can be finicky if you're not aiming just right at them. Some of these I may end up replacing with the oh, where are you? If you do not own the Riders of Hyboria DLC, I highly recommend it. It has some of the most useful pieces. Like the lattice wall here, I use that all the time. The lattice half wall, which basically makes it a fence, I use that all the time. Wooden support strut, I use it all the time. Stable fence. These things go with damn near everything. So for that alone, it was the last DLC I bought. I kept putting it off for the simple fact that I thought it was the weakest of the DLCs. It was the least useful of all the DLCs. I regret waiting as long as I did to buy it. Completely worth it. Even if you don't do anything with the saddles, which, to To be honest, I don't really use mounts. I don't much care for the mounts in this game. I find them annoying to try and control. Less than, yeah, not great. I'll just say that. So, up in here, this location is called the High Court. Or I call this base the High Court because it was designed. I was going for a Mount Olympus style design, overlooking the Chaos Mouth. Nice long views. Now, normally from here, you'd be able looking in this direction. Am I looking? Yeah, looking in this direction, you'd be able to see the vortex from my base, but you can't from here because we're actually too high. Now, this wasn't designed to be a main base. It was designed to be just what it sounds, a court. Mount Olympus style court. So, I do have a kitchen. It's a bit cramped. And of course, I've got a bedroom, spawn location. And again, it's all about the views. That building over there, I'll show off here in a moment. All about the views. Although I do have a question for my peeps who are better at building than I am. I ran into an issue with this build that I don't know how to fix. As we're taking this ride, as you can see from the location, it's a good place, like down in here, put a wheel of pain. And normally I used to build it over here all the time. I used to have a base over here that had a wheel of pain in it, and I just farmed the den non-stop because it's a good place to get thralls. So anyway, this is where we come in at. This is where our paths split. Eventually I decided that I wanted to expand, and I didn't want to completely rebuild everything and keep building up, so I decided to build over. Now in here we have, honestly I have no idea, I just saw this and I thought it would make a good storage space, but I never did anything with it. And over in here you have another elevator down because there's plenty of iron, there's all kinds of iron ore down here. And I just never got around to doing anything with this. I was planning on like expanding it across there, maybe have like the hanging bridge across or whatever. I think I could probably fit a hanging bridge across that. But I have no idea what I'd do with it. I already have more space than I know what to do with here. So we come in here, trigger the elevator. Alright, here it comes. Again, this is all, is it stone brick? Yeah, stone brick. And I built it using stone brick because when I first built this place, as I was unlocking all this stuff. So I wanted an excuse to use it, basically. I could probably cut out some of the sliding, but I don't want to. Now, this one I managed to get away with fewer side steps, or steps, I think. No, it's the same number of steps as the other side from this point. So, but there's always room to improve. Now, as you can see, partway up here it switches. to, I believe, Argosian. And I apologize for the weird bits here. For whatever reason, it would not let me build there without putting those there. Yeah, Argosian. And this is more of a shop front type thing, expanding on the idea from Bones' home. And it was a tease. So we come in here, and in here we have all of our crafting tables and our carpenter's bench. And we start over here. This is all of our metalworking. Got our furnaces, our armor's bench, our blacksmith's bench, dismantling bench, tinkerer's bench. Then you come over here, and you have our sorcery stuff. Your alchemist, your casting table, your firebowl, that kind of stuff. Then you come in here, and you have all of our leatherworking related tanners, tannery, dyers. I never got around to putting a saddler's bench up here. I could, but since I use it so infrequently, I didn't bother. Then of course I got a couple things of storage here or there. Another one here. And of course, the view, which isn't much of one at night, I guess. But here's what I was talking about. Alright, so I'm using these awnings across here, but there's no inverted corner for the awnings. Does anybody have a good way of doing this so it doesn't look like that? You know, any ideas, any suggestions on what to do in that spot? Because no matter what kind of awning I put there, it just doesn't look right. Yeah, you got your chaos mouth over there. Or no, that's not the chaos mouth. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, every corner I have one of those. Because it just bothers me. So I know there are a lot of people out there that are much better at building than I am. Any ideas, any suggestions on how to unscrew that? Ooh, I should go into flight mode real quick. Give you the overview. Come on. First person mode. I need to really work on my timing with this. So, all these raised sections right here, lattice walls, they come from the Riders of Hyboria. I can't remember what the name of that Argosian DLC is, but I put those there for ventilation. Now, you don't really need it in game, but if you're trying to keep things somewhat realistic, you'd want that ventilation. So we're going to come across over to here. This is technically an inside wall, rough timber interior wall. It's from one of the sandstone packs that you can get. To be perfectly honest, stuff like this is probably the best use I've found for it. I've used it like that. I used it for that in a few different places. So yeah, there's that build. That time after. Next time will be the Sentinel. So, see you then.